How you doing, everybody? And welcome to Dicey Decisions, where we roll dice, spin stories, and really try to make these announcements take a little bit longer than usual because we're missing a player. But it's okay! It's okay. This is all fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine in Bossing Say.
Everything is fine in Bossing Say. So, couple of announcements. Nothing really new on my end, but I just want to reiterate. We have a podcast. So this show is also a podcast. You can find us almost anywhere you can get podcasts. Check us out on iTunes, Spotify, any of that stuff. So go check it out and leave us a review if you can, because that super duper helps us out and makes us look good to other people, which is great. Also, of course, this stream is on Twitch. If you go down and hit that subscribe button, or at least the follow button, you will find out whenever we are streaming, which is apparently slightly irregular, but it's always on a Friday at least. Yay! What else? You can remember you can check out the VOD on YouTube. There is a link down below on our page somewhere where you can tap on it, and it'll take you to the YouTube channel playlist where all of our episodes are, and it's great and it's awesome. You can check out the other 2 episodes. If you haven't seen them yet, what are you doing? You need to watch those.
Get on it, my guys.
Gosh.
And non-binary fellas.
You little shits.
You little shits.
shits.
Little shits. Gender neutral.
Yeah, that's a gender neutral way to talk to people. Yeah, so for some reason the End of All Things from Return of the King started playing on my phone. I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Nice.
Return of the Kings. I am your king.
Tiffany is our king.
Tiffany is our king. So I have some experience points to award from last session.
Right.
And I think that I will I will attach them to Katrina because she's not here at the moment, which is unfortunate. Everyone has earned 272 experience points, so you can go ahead and add those to your XP at the top of your page as you do. While you're doing that, Kit, if you could say a little something, please.
Yeah, so it's the last time we're going to be podcasting during Pride Month, so just happy Pride Month, everybody. All you lesbians, gays, bis, pans, transgender friends, and anyone else who identifies as queer or otherwise not straight cis. Happy Pride Month. I love you, and I hope you love me back.
We sure do.
We love you back.
People.
Tiffany speaks for all of the queers.
All of the gays. Tiffany is the Lorax of the LGBT community.
God, I hope I am. That's awful. This is why. No, let's not go there.
I leveled up.
Did you?
No. I'm like, wait.
I was gonna say that's some bullshit.
I just typed in the same number that I did first.
Oy, caramba.
More numbers in my experience.
I like backspaced it and then went ahead and just typed in the same number.
Man, ain't that like a move though?
Oh, yeet.
Yeet.
All right, well that's awesome. Shit, I'm really trying to milk this as long as I can.
The Animal Crossing thing?
What?
Did you even say the Animal Crossing thing?
Oh, I didn't.
No, you didn't. I was waiting for you to fucking say the thing.
My God, my brain is all over the place. If I'm already off that train, we're on a different one heading somewhere.
Yeah.
Are you guys excited for
the social security number bit? And then she was like, 69.
69. The funny sex number.
Animal Crossing.
Oh my gosh, viewers, if you hadn't heard, which I'm sure you have because we're all on the internet, Animal Crossing is coming to the Switch, and boy am I excited. So excited, in fact, that I restarted my town on my DS, and it's consumed my life.
I'm so excited. I'm going to buy a Switch just so I can play Animal Crossing.
Literally Same. Viewers, if you don't buy a console for one game specifically, are you a gamer? Really?
Are you really a gamer if you don't buy the Nintendo Switch just to play Animal Crossing? I mean,
Actually, yeah. Fake gamers. If you
Sorry,
are,
I'm one of those pretentious assholes who, you know, plays games on his PC.
Oh my god.
the worst.
I bet you talk about RAM like all the time.
Actually, I don't talk about my RAM at all because I have like 16 gigs of RAM. And
Wow.
so, like, I'll never have to worry about RAM speed ever again. My processor is what sucks.
That actually sounds really nice. I want a desktop really badly.
I need a new AMD processor.
I don't know what that is. I'm the viewer in this where I don't know what that is.
A processor is what makes the computer think. The
But what-
motherboard is like their skeleton, and the
And
RAM is like their fast twitch muscles for punching things.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so I
Mike,
think I've
you-
stalled enough. What?
You need to review your cupcake. This is a cooking channel now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's very citrusy. I'm detecting notes of sugar.
Anyway, enough nonsense, Mike, if you would like to carry on.
Sure. Carry on, my wayward son. There will be peace when you are done.
Supernatural logo shows up.
Carry on. Okay. Well, it looks like things are about to get dicey. God, that's never gonna be cool. Okay. So, last time we left our story, 3 travelers, Helga, Soot, and Kat, and 2 musicians, Oran and Gurg, had all come to the city of Dagdaral, run by the oligarchic paladins of Justine, for what seems to, apparently, be very similar reasons. The 5 of you split up, the musicians to make some money, as you do, and the 3 of you to enjoy the festival around you. After meeting a strange fortune teller named Brenda,
Brenda.
Fan favorite Brenda.
you found yourselves volunteering to assist in a violent reenactment of a great battle that took place in the city over a century ago. After defeating the surprisingly strong theater kids, the leader of the, air quotes, paladins, Danley, thanked you and really seemed starstruck by the lot of you. After asking, some questions, after asking some questions, you learn that there's a large religious ceremony taking place at dusk, where Katrina, who expressed a sincere desire to meet whoever is in charge, might be able to meet a higher-ranking paladin. You decided to find the other 2 members of your group, and finally found them in an open courtyard around a fountain, playing an opening refrain of a strangely familiar song. You see Oran step forward and clear his throat as you approach, and sing to the crowd of about 40 people that have gathered around. And he strums a little bit. He sings,
Carry on my wayward son.
yeah, he sings Carry On My Wayward Son. That's what he sings.
Amazing.
No, he sings, far away in the old hills of home, my lover waits. They sing for me all alone, a song of happier days. Someday triumphant I'll return, the battle's won and done. Till then I'll keep the fire a-burn, till they call me home again. And then Gurg joins in and does his own verse from this time it's sung from the perspective of the lover that was mentioned. and then there's a bit of a musical break, and then they both sing in harmony, and it's this quiet and mournful cry to the gods, actually, to end the war and bring the two lovers back together again. And there's more subtext in the lyrics, and I'll eventually share all the lyrics with y'all so you can read them and stuff. There's subtext, so much subtext. Oh god, slow burn. And
Everyone's slow burn are married. My dads are married.
Oh my gosh, they're married. And it's just this beautiful and somewhat sad but slightly hopeful song, and it's just so strangely familiar. And Katrina's not here, so Katrina can't roll for it, but Soot, you can go ahead and roll just a straight up intelligence check for me, please.
Okie dokie.
You can do it, smart bird.
Smart burb.
21.
21. Holy shit! No, not a save, an intelligence check.
Oh.
Click on just click on the intelligence stat over there.
Oh.
What the fuck?
Yeet. I mean, it's the same modifier, isn't it? So like,
So it is
Plus 2. You rolled a 19. Holy fuck. Okay.
with you, baby.
Yeah, you realize as you're listening to this, Helga, you do not make this check because you have actually heard this song before. This is the song that you heard Gerg and Oran playing way back when you first met them in the city of Onid's Wall. But yeah, you beat that DC. So yeah, so you realize as you're listening to it, you've in your many years of prayer and feeling the blessing that Faina has given to you, the power that she has granted to you, you've become familiar with what magical auras are like, what a magical effect feels like. There's this slight hum that you don't really hear, but you feel, and you're feeling that now. The song that they're playing appears to have a bit of a magical effect to it that seems to make you just feel like, oh gosh, I swear I've heard this before. But then as you realize that, you're like, no, I've never heard this song before. Never mind. But it's really pretty. And as they finish, they do a little bow in the crowd of now 50 people who've just been crowding around them as you guys kind of sit and listen. Just cheer and clap and throw coins, and there's just growing pile of coins at their feet, and they kind of just bow and thank everyone, and Gerg kind of stands up, like kind of blocks off the coin pile just in case anyone tries to be a little sneaky about it.
Helga throws some gold into the pile.
Sounds like lets out a loud imitation of a whistle, like, and is like clapping along with everyone.
Oh, that's precious.
Oh, burb.
And so yeah, with no more preamble, my friends, what are you doing?
Soot goes up to them and touches the closer of the two, which I'm going to assume is Oran.
Okay, you go up to Oran.
In a deep, heady voice. That was beautiful.
A deep what voice?
A deep voice.
Deep. She said heady. I'm not sure what that means though.
Like just a dude's voice.
Deep heady voice.
Sounds vaguely like an old man. Yes.
Oh,
So,
it's
like
older
rap.
gentleman. Yeah. Just this weird patronly voice comes out, and Oren looks slightly down because you two are not too different in height. He's, elves are a little on the shorter end of
All
humanoid
you
spectrum.
Who is this tiny?
all
tiny
you small
child?
boys.
Yeah, they're all small boys. They're just slighter, than humans, as it were. And he looks down at you. Oh, hello. Oh, hey. And he notices you, Helga and Katrina, and he waves to all of you. Hey there, thank you so much. Were you all able to have a little fun for your morning, at least? We've made quite a bit of a haul. Gurg, how much did we make? And Gurg's like finishing up, gathering up the rest of it, and he's counting it all, and he's like, And actually, the interesting thing was, so you heard Gurg singing, and it's this. He has this very rich, smooth, melodic voice. It's very, very deep and hearty. But when it's completely at odds is when he speaks, because when he speaks, it's this hoarse, very, very quiet, raspy whisper. And that's just it's just one of the strange dualities about these two. He's like, looks like we made a little over 100 gold, 107 gold.
Nice.
So
it's looking at him weirdly, like he doesn't really have the words, but he says the phrase "broken" at Gurg.
Broken.
Gurg looks at his arms. He's like,
no. And Sud is like tapping his throat.
He can't say broke.
Oh, I see. It's a long story.
Sorry?
Anyway, who are you?
Soot!
Soot. Very nice. And he kind of just looks at the rest of you.
What he said.
Silent.
Absolutely.
Oh my god. Did you hear Tiffany just had Soot say?
No, I did not hear.
In a deep voice, Soot goes, Soot is a good boy.
It was very strange.
Soot is good.
Soot is good.
Soot is good.
Soot is good. Yeah, Gurg just kind of falls silent, and Aran kind of like, kind of takes over the mantle of the speaking role, as it were. Yeah, so nice for you to come by. Helga, here's your gold. I appreciate that.
No, that's for you to buy the bolt.
Okay.
We're pooling our money anyways, yeah?
I assumed that was the plan, but we were, it was our boat originally. If we could make enough money, we'd totally be fine paying for it. But it's looking like if this is the most that we were able to get out of a whole morning session, it's probably in our best interests to be looking for a passage than actual purchasing transportation. We may want to charter a boat if we're going to do anything like that.
I could carve us a canoe. Would take a few days though.
I don't think the point is for us to get out of here as fast as possible. I think. Well, looks like show's over for the time being, and you see he's looking around, and the crowd is now dispersing. They've all just kind of started to wander off to other parts of the city or the market to really just enjoy the rest of the festival. The rest of the festival. Rest of fest.
We should pull a bank heist.
Oh, that's so fast. Tiffany says we should, but Soot is too morally good to agree to that.
Helga would never do that.
Soot's lawful, bitch.
Helga doesn't understand money anyways.
Neither does Soot.
Oh, this is great. Without Katrina here.
Without Katrina, we have two brain cells again.
The two brain cells just bumping into each other.
Nah.
That's all the plans we had for this morning. What do you three want to do?
Oh, maybe. Oh shit, we have that bag of holding. Maybe we can sell what's in that. Make some more money.
Bag of holding?
Yeah. Shiny Boy gave me some bag of holding. Do I still have that?
Oh.
Yeah, it's around your shoulder.
Oh.
It's like a messenger's bag. Yeah, you see, Helga just like looks down at this messenger's bag on her, she's got over her shoulder, across her chest, and she looks down and it's still there.
I'm like, show Oran Greg. I'm like, we could sell these things. Yes.
What do we have in there?
What help? So Helga starts like reaching in and taking stuff out.
Okay.
Soot's looking at all the items and like low-key his instincts kind of want to like snatch it. But he's being good. He just wants to look for now.
Do you know how much all of this is worth?
No. Well, first of all, he left a lot of there's these gold and silver and coppers. Helga just takes out bags of money.
Oh.
Which that's a total. I don't know why so much money. 80 gold, 800 silver, 1600 copper. So yeah, that's a lot in the bag of holding.
Yeah, you have about 360 gold in there. Because remember, 10 silver is
Yeah. Let's see. I got this mud, this glass vial of mud. I think it is dirt. But she hands it to Soot.
Helga hands you a vial of this very, very murky liquid, and as she hands it to you, it swirls, and then you're staring at it. It just won't stop swirling. Just keep swirling.
Can I open the vial?
Sure.
Free stick.
Yeah. So opens the vial and sniffs it.
You sniff it, and you kind of like dip your little pinky in, and you like get a little bit of it, and you taste it, and it's kind of rank. And as you taste it, you look at the bottle, and you see that a little tiny eyeball just kind of floats out of the murk and then back in.
I drop it.
You drop it.
I drop it while it's still open.
You drop it, and it just tick, 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 and it's like the what is it, that water bottle thing where it just lands on its bottom and bounces a couple times.
I want to dab.
So it dabs.
Oh my god.
So doesn't...
Helga picks it back up. I don't know what this is, but
yeah, so as you tasted it, you hear a little and at your side, rubbing against your leg is the ugliest fucking cat. It's missing a leg. It's missing an eye. It's part of its ear.
Oh, this Crumpet. You saw Crumpet earlier, yeah?
Crumpet?
Crumpet is cat.
Cat?
Crumpet is cat. Cat is human.
Yeah, you gather from from your little experience with the potion that it may make you more it may make animals more akin to you.
Oh. I pick up Crumpet and cuddle.
Oh.
And cuddle.
Roll an animal handling check.
Oh, buddy, let's see how this goes.
Is that with advantage?
No,
because tasting it is what made them able to do it. Not really giving them advantage.
Aw. So it has a 16.
16? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. He kind of squirms a bit, but like you squish the cat and he kind of settles in grumpily. He's not purring, but he's not like struggling to get out.
Okay. Helga takes out another vial of liquids. This one, we have this. It looks like water with red dot.
Yeah, as you watch the dot, the red speck. There's this tiny red speck floating around in this clear liquid, and as you watch, it expands to make the entire liquid pink, and then contracts again.
Helga like shakes it a little bit. What was that?
So it's like his like pupils blow wide.
Yeah, it settles back down to a tiny speck and then swells again.
So
It just kind of does that
I
for a
like.
bit.
Helga just stares at the portal. I like that. So I'm called Roger.
Roger.
Let's see what else we got in here. We've got some very shiny clothes.
Helga pulls out an entire set of priest's robes with what looks like gold inlays.
Wait. This is Tiffany. This is Tip talking, but also, so it's like eyes that are already blown wide. He's like really into these priest robes, but he also like after the initial like delight of seeing something so glamorous looking, he suddenly looks like he has a split second thought like, wait, priest? Why you guys got this? And then he like does like a shock gasp at Helga, like
What? What is it?
priest!
I am not a priest.
Wear priest robe.
You want me to wear the priest robe? You want to wear priest robe. I think Switch wants to wear the shiny clothes.
Seth's like frustrated that he can't say what he wants to say. And he like shakes the priest robe at Helga like
In what way? Accusingly?
yes.
I don't know. I didn't steal it from a priest or any. I don't even remember where we got this. It was Shiny Boys.
Shiny boy. Shiny boys.
It was Shiny Boys. We found it in a dungeon, I think. Yeah, it was a while ago.
Oran and Gurg are just watching this unfold like very confusedly. Because they weren't there in the dungeon with you, so they wouldn't know.
Looks at Cat. Cat says nothing.
Cat's just like,
Mm.
I don't know. I didn't know that was in there.
He really wants to. So like keeps looking at the robes, then back at Helga, then back at the robes. Like he really kind of wants to put it on, but then he puts it back on the ground with like a sad
In the bag.
No, on the ground.
Why on the ground? Oh, you're just like, no.
Do you like fold them up nicely, or do you just plop them on the ground?
No, he folds it because they're priest robes.
Okay, well, as you're folding them, you realize, yeah, these are made for, you know, like a human, someone like twice your height.
He won.
And there's also a huge blood stain, like on the inside.
Wait,
by
what?
Okay, well,
Wait, what?
Sid is remembering all this just for future references.
I don't know if Helga should probably remember this, but me, Kit, the person, does not remember what the hell happened there.
All right, guys, hold on. We're going to have to go on a short break for a second, but we'll be right back. Okay, bye. And we're back. Hi, everyone. Thank you for waiting so patiently. Sadly, we are not going to be joined tonight by our third player because they are very, very ill. That's actually why they were late, and we were hoping they'd be able to join us, but it just took a turn for the worse. So keep Carly in your thoughts and your butts and your hoes.
And remember
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts, T-H-O-T. Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah. So you mean Helga and Soot?
Guys, that should be your group name.
This is our
Thoughts and prayers.
name the episode this.
Thoughts and prayers.
A side story.
Oh god, that's probably what the name of this goddamn episode is going to be. Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers. Let's do something slutty.
Okay.
Everybody.
Soot does not do that.
So, the last thing that we were talking about, I believe, was the priest's clothes. As Soot was folding them up, Soot noticed that there were like just blood stain, small blood. Okay, it's not like a huge blood stain. It's a bunch of like smaller blood stains all on the inside of the coat, not on the outside, just the inside.
Oh, creepy.
Would Soot recognize what these robes represent, or
you can roll an investigation check.
Investigation.
well, it's this one, right?
Yes, the one that says investigation is the investigation.
Last time I rolled something, I was yelled at. Anyway, it's a 21 again.
What?
It's a 21 she got.
Shit. Okay, so looking at them, you recognize them as just these ceremonial robes. There's no like particular station, but you do recognize. Oh, should have made you roll a religion check.
I could roll that too. I don't know.
No, I'll give it to you. You rolled really high on your investigation anyway, like really high, even without the modifier. So you recognize on the sleeves, part of the gold inlays forms what appears to be a whatchamacallit, a single hand palm outward. You recognize it as the same symbol that is on all the banners and the flags in Dagdaral. It's the symbol of Justine, the human goddess of war and justice. Or honorable battle is really like her thing.
Maybe not let's try to sell this one right now, since it is.
It's also very, very dusty and old. You can smell a significant amount of must and something a little more rancid.
Gross.
Yeah.
Probably the blood.
Hopefully.
Yeah, puts that on the ground.
Puts it back in the bag. Thanks for...
After shaking the dirt and mud out of it. So just put in it.
Copper chalice. There's this copper cup. It's very very nice.
It also has the symbol of Justine on it. It appears to be a ceremonial chalice, as you do.
We could probably upsell that. A mirror. I think Trida tried to give this to Kat. She did not want it.
No, I did not, and I still don't.
Cool.
Soot picks it up and like points to himself.
Yes, that is you, Soot.
No, Soot wants it.
Oh, Soot wants it?
Soot like kind of clutches it close to his chest, like,
aww,
and kind of flutters his eyes.
You now have, you can now mark in your inventory that you have a little wooden hand mirror.
Yeah! This is just me collecting things.
I'm gonna take it out of the bag of holding.
It's for 25 gold pieces, you shit. That's your fault for giving it to me.
I didn't say I gave it to you. I just said, aw.
Soot took it.
Yeah, no, Helga gives it to Soot.
Nice.
Oh, you're carrying way too much shit.
Probably.
I'm not too worried about carrying weight.
More than his body weight. I call bullshit.
Soot is carrying more than his body weight?
Why
How do you have 80 pounds of shit?
I don't know.
He's wearing the leather armor, though, so that's like not... I don't think that counts as really against his carry weight.
You didn't take out the right thing. You took out the chalice.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, you were supposed to take out the hand mirror.
Oops.
A bone mockingbird, whatever that is. Like a figurine.
Yeah, it's a little carved figurine.
I was like, okay, are you sure you want that one? Because I'm only going to let you keep the one thing out of the big bag.
So it kind of like eyes the golden chalice, but then he
It's
like
copper.
well, shiny chalice. the shiny shells, but then he like shakes his head and keeps holding on to the
Okay.
mirror.
Birds do like them some mirrors.
We sure do.
The bone mockingbirds. Helga takes that out and shows it to everyone. Like, yes, it's a little carving.
It's very nicely done. Like it's a little mockingbird carved out of an ivory-like bone. It's really, really nice.
Mm-hmm. A golden bracelet.
It's just a bracelet.
Also shiny.
Some
Some rocks.
Helga pulls out some very shiny rocks, 5 of them to be specific.
1, 2. Actually, it says onyx, rose quartz, 2 moonstones, I don't know how to pronounce that one.
Chalcedony.
Chalcedony and carnelian. That would be 6.
Well, I'm good at math. I used to be an engineer.
So, is that to assume that the
Why do you echo?
I'm everywhere.
Jesus Christ.
It's because this is on the computer.
Interesting.
Maybe this is better.
No, it sounds like I'm getting your voice from 2 different sources at the same time.
Is this still recording?
I don't know. My laptop's microphone might be picking me up.
It shouldn't be. It should only be...
Yeah, from your microphone.
Oh. Anyways.
Anyway, so yeah, I got the rocks.
Does that mean the what? Oh, that's
Don't.
Tiffany. Does that mean the value also goes up?
No.
Ugh.
You don't know the value just by looking at them.
Yeah, that's true, but you made this nice little table.
Yeah, I made a little table of what their, average market value is, but like...
Cool.
So it just repeats back in Helga's voice, like gesturing to the whole bag, like sale.
The a copper helix rod is the next thing on the list. Helga takes that out and tries not to wave it around too much.
It's a nice shiny stick to you, Helga.
Kind of like gingerly hands it over to Soot. You know what this is?
So, what? So does Soot know what that is?
Does anyone know what this thing is?
Well, Soot, as you handle it, you feel a little hum from it. You feel a little hum, but to really figure out what it is, you'd have to like sit down with it. As you look at it, it's interesting. It's a like the description says, it is a rod made of 2 copper cylinders that form a helix, and at one end of the helix there's this doorknob shaped kind of tip, and on the doorknob is like this very strange arcane symbol. And so you're all kind of hanging out, sitting down. Basically, this is like a short rest. And you sit down and you play around with it.
Last thing, actually.
What?
The hooded lantern, I forgot to mention that.
Oh yeah, as you're playing around with that, Helga pulls out of the bag this very dark iron lantern that it's one of those ones where there's like a switch on the side that you can close and open it. Except it seems to be stylistically designed so that when it closes and opens, it's like an eyelid over over the glass, which is designed to look like an eyeball. So that's a cool thing.
Sid is playing with the helix, but I guess he's not too concerned about what it is. To him, it's just an interesting stick.
Helga's opening and shutting the little eye.
We are children.
Okay, you know what? I'll consider that as you're both doing that for a short rest. So let me just fucking pull up the information for those.
I've already spent all my hit dice for a short rest.
Yeah, but like basically, so the way magic items work is it's the identify spell is a thing that you can cast and learn everything there is about an item. For magical items, you can normally figure out an item is magical, but to figure out generally what something is kind of able to do, or to attune to it, you take a short rest. And it's usually 1 item per short rest. And since the both of you are handling them basically for the foreseeable future, because you're both kind of doofy,
Helga just keeps playing with it.
We are literally children.
yeah, you guys just chill. Aran and Gurg, they go get some snacks. You know, it's all good. They come back with like bear claws.
Actual bear claws.
No, the pastry.
Helga's like, oh yes, I like those.
Yes. So let me see if I can find the
bear claw.
We'll start with the lantern.
The perfect lantern.
Lantern. So the lantern, as you're playing with it, Helga, you
Don't mind me.
Okay.
as you're playing with that, you realize, oh, this thing still has some oil in it. So you kind of take your flint from your tinder box that I'm assuming you have, and you light it, and it casts bright light in a 30-foot radius, and dim light for an additional 30 feet, but it's the middle of the day, so that's not really affecting too much.
Is it dark yet?
The light seems to sparkle a bit in a way that makes you think that it has some sort of effect, but you're not entirely sure what. And you just kind of, after just kind of like shining it in the wrong in people's eyes, and they're like, "Ah, what are you doing? It's the middle of the day." You just kind of put it out. You put it out, and so.
Wow, a lantern that lights.
You feel like with your limited intelligence, Helga, you feel like this lantern might have some magical use to it, maybe to reveal certain things.
Soot's too distracted by his stick to really notice how much lantern.
Yeah, so Soot, your stick. I'm trying not to give you guys too much so that it's still kind of a ooh kind of thing, you know, when you figure it out.
Mystery lamp.
So this wand, while you're playing with it, you're kind of sitting next to this. You're sitting on the edge of the fountain where Gurg and Oran were playing earlier, and as you kind of just kind of like toy around with it, you feel a shudder run through it, and it pulses and turns in your hand to point at the fountain.
It shows you water.
So kind of dips it in the water.
Go ahead and roll an investigation check. You're dipping the wand in the water?
He's
Yeah.
getting his stick wet.
You know.
Oh my god. This is why this is a thought episode.
You
Thoughts and prayers.
it's now a as you dip the rod in the water, it gets wet.
I rolled a 3, guys. Wasted.
You see that number is red, and if you hover your cursor over that,
It's a crystal.
I know.
roll the natural 1. You now have a wet stick.
Aw. He takes it out of the water and kind of like shakes it to get some of the water off.
It pulses again and points at the fountain.
Cool. And that's all Soot thinks about that.
Yep. So that's that.
Just likes to be wet.
Soot like shows Helga like water stick.
Water stick. Yes. Water is a stick for the water.
Soot just nods like yeah.
Katrina's watching the both of you like, I'm not sure that's what that is. So
Mine's a lamp.
Yes, that is a lamp. Actually, I'm not sure what that is.
The lamp with an eyeball. Lamp. Helga like flickers the eyeball at Cat.
Well, perhaps it's
Like
meant
fuck,
to.
right?
Perhaps it's meant to reveal something. You know, maybe the eye is symbolic. I don't know. Anyway,
Oh, Cat is full of such insight.
Can I roll investigation?
Cat's
on the
actually pretty smart, so I'm just like I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt.
Beard DM? May I roll an investigation on the lamp now that the stick has lost interest?
You can investigate the lantern.
15.
Okay. As you're messing around with the lantern, kind of like looking at it, kind of inspecting it, you come to the conclusion that it could burn for 6 hours nonstop on a pint of oil.
Ooh.
What's your charisma? Yeah, you're a better charisma than me. Okay. I was gonna say let's find somewhere to sell the. I feel like the little trinkets, like the gemstones, the gold bracelet.
Yeah, sure. Just
Stuff.
grab
He's got a better charisma modifier than me, so I was gonna have him haggle.
Can Soot this is gonna be fun. Can Soot just pocket the helix?
Oh yeah, we can
Sure.
keep magic items.
You
Sweet.
have the helix rod.
You
This
can
is now
you can-
Soot's.
okay. You can hold on to that too.
Well, Helga, you actually can use magical items. You just don't have any particular arcane training, so it would require an arcana skill check.
Tiffany was asking if she could keep it instead of sell it, and I said, yeah, we can keep the magic stuff.
Yeah, sure. All right, so you're gonna go look around, see if you can find something.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. So you're currently in the Margedbard, which is just the market district. Margedbard. That's MARGADBHARD. It's a dwarvish word,
You're a dwarvish word.
but sure, whatever. Yeah, go ahead. Both of you roll a. I guess either one of you rolls with advantage if the other is helping, or both of you individually roll investigation checks to see if you can find somewhere to sell.
Let's both roll.
Okay.
Investigation.
Soot rolled a 4.
Oh. Wait. Get rolled a 4 too. What the fuck?
We are very good at this job.
So the two of you are standing in this central area, which, as you're kind of just randomly talking to people, where are we? You eventually find out that just Orenagur just sadly following you, just munching on their bear claws. They seem to be very amused. You find out that you are currently in the Helix Pavilion, this very, very central square. It has, in that central stone fountain that you were just hanging out at, you kind of just turn around and really take it in for a moment, because you really hadn't done that before, and it's this really big stone statue of a, what looks like maybe a dwarven king of ages past, and just standing there in regal position, fist on his chest, one at his side on a hammer. And it's just got a really cool crown and shit. And he's just there, and water streaming out of the crown and down his hairy dwarven stone chest.
Sexy.
You do know, it's just kind of sadly moving around, and eventually you just start walking east. And you suddenly find yourselves in the Red Bazaar. Just this place that's filled with tents that are decked out in red and gold, probably for the festival. But it seems like the festival did not put this part of the market district out of business for the day. So there's a lot of people moving around, shouting. There's vendors hawking their stuff. Come, beaded necklaces, only 3 silver.
Come and get some fresh fish caught straight from the river this morning.
Is there anywhere that looks like we could like sell things back to?
Just gonna
Your pawn shop.
I guess with how fucking low you rolled,
No, there is not.
you're looking around, you're struggling. Let me see.
Goes up to a vendor selling fruit. Do you want to buy this gold chain?
You're probably gonna want to go to the Durselbard for all of that.
Oh, so back where we came from, Darselbard?
The Durselbard. It's the and it kind of lean out of their stall and point down the way. It's where all the local businesses are. There's a couple of pawn shops you might be able to get to. Most of what we have here is just trinkets and stuff.
I take that person's directions.
Okay. You might want to try Narco's Necessities, they shout down at you as you leave.
Narc.
So, Twitter's back. Thank you.
Aww.
In a very high-pitched feminine voice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you're just kind of walking around. The sun is high in the sky. It's coming to mid-afternoon, I think.
Do I have to roll to follow directions
No,
to the place?
It's mid-afternoon. You keep going. You bump into people just kind of pointing you in the right direction, and you eventually find yourselves in the business district of the city, where all of the local businesses kind of hang out. They have like their own, they actually have buildings, signs, and everything. This is like your classic fantasy town, except all of the buildings here seem to be fashioned out of wood and clay, unlike the rest of the city and the city walls, which is like this concrete like marble, completely flat, and whatever it's called, there's no imperfections in like the stone ground that you walk on. It's just kind of dirty, but it's immaculate. And then you kind of find yourselves in this, like, a little bit more of your classic fantasy city with these, like, 3-story buildings, and they got signs hanging out over the street. There's people walking back and forth. It's kind of muddy. It's definitely the smell of, kind of the smell of hay, and like, animal farts, really.
Yeah. Like, hey, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
you're
my
kind of...
favorite.
Yeah, you're walking around. You see a sign for there's this big building that seems to be made of giant chunks of stone, and there's like a column of smoke coming out of the top of it. And there's this sign on the side of it that seems to be been made of like welded broken swords, maybe like stuff that wasn't sellable. And they all spell out the Jagged Edge. There's you keep walking for a bit. There's a small kind of corner shop that's got these dingy glass windows through which you can see a bunch of books and stacks of parchment, and the this very, very carefully painted lettering on the windows calls the place the the Parchment Stuffin'. And you keep walking for a bit. There's you eventually find your way down a back alley, just moving your way around, and there's this place right at the end of it, with a askew sign above a simple wooden door that says Narco's Necessities.
Go in there.
General goods and sundries.
Sundries.
And sundries. So you walk through the door into this very, very cramped space. There's a lot of shelving, and it's like maybe like a 10-foot by 10-foot space. There's a desk with a part of it kind of flips up, probably to like let the shopkeep get like out. And you actually see a man with this jeez, this is actually very fun. This is a very kind-looking older gentleman who looks at you. He has this deep red skin, and not like Oran. As a wood elf, he has this reddish brown skin. This man's skin is like actually red, and you actually do see that he has these horns that curve up and back like almost like an ibex towards the back of his skull, and he has these pupilless silvery blue eyes that peek out of this wrinkly face. And he says, "Oh, hello! I didn't expect anyone today." He looks up from this book he was just kind of staring lazily at, and kind of pushes it off to the side and stands upright to look at the rest of you. "How can I help you? I'm Narco."
Creepy. Sud is hiding behind Helga. He don't trust this guy.
Sure.
Dang.
Sud's racist. No, he's not. Then I don't know. Something about this guy does not give Sud good vibes.
So he's a little creepy. He's kind of creepy. It takes you a second to realize he just doesn't blink.
Yeah.
Just doesn't blink.
He just doesn't
Helga
blink.
tries to not blink also.
Hmm?
Said Helga tries to not blink also.
Okay, roll a Constitution saving throw.
I rolled a 16. Well, my other things are blocking. Yeah, I rolled a 16.
All right. You have a staring contest for a full minute, and then you finally blink, and his smile has not changed. Actually, he kind of looks like a wax statue for this whole minute. He hasn't moved, barely breathed. He's just smiling, waiting expectantly.
Well, that was fun. Anyways, we have some things we would like to sell.
Well, you've come to the right place. We definitely do exchanges and selling. We do purchase items of good worth, but I would need to appraise them first. So please. And he shoves like what looks like a bunch of wooden stone knickknacks off of the desk to make space. And you just hear a ping, ting, 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 ting on the floor. He's like, "Please place your stuff up here, and I will appraise it."
All right, she takes out the rocks first.
The rocks. Okay, so he goes and he is going to inspect them.
Shiny rocks.
Let's see. Onyx, and he takes this one of the black stone, puts it off to the side. Oh, and he pulls up this very pinkish, sparkly one. A rose quartz. How lovely. These are moonstones. Not sure what this is. And carnelian. Okay. You want to sell all of these, yes?
Nah.
Well, I would give you, say, 200 gold for the lot.
Helga looks at Soot.
Soot like is making this like big face, like giant eyes, like holy shit, that's a lot of money.
These are very precious stones, but
Soot's like nodding, like we should sell it for
I
200.
was like, nah, there is a deal.
okay. And he takes them and puts them off in a pouch, and he slowly stacks out the equivalent of 200 gold in he has this lockbox under the desk that he pulls them out, and it's weird. He doesn't have pupils, and he never turns his face away from you, so you're not really sure if he actually ever takes his eyes off of you.
Nice.
And his smile has not broken once. He's just this pleasant fixed smile on his face. There you are, 200 gold. gold.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I have some more things as well.
Can
Okay.
I Soot roll an insight check after this exchange?
You wanna roll it now, or
I mean, I don't know. He's feeling kind of. I guess he hasn't done anything super unnerving aside from not blinking and looking away and generally being him.
he's just a lizard?
He's a goat. No?
What? No. No, tieflings are demons spawn.
But they look
They're
like
known as devilings
Yeah.
to you, Soot.
Oh yeah, he don't fuck with
Yeah.
that shit.
Gold bracelet and the
So it's like
I'll take what?
he kind of like tugs on Helga and points to the animal sculptures and like looks at her like I've seen something like this before, and he makes a little bird noise.
You want one?
No, he smacks his head, and then he points at the bag.
What? The bone mockingbird.
He's pointing inside the bag, like, "Hey, let's sell this thing."
Oh, let's sell that one.
Yeah, so you're like, you pull the bag open and like point at things, and there's nothing in there.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that's right. You can
Aw.
only grab the stuff out of there if you know if. Well, Soot's already seen all this stuff in there.
It's not visibly in there, so it has to reach in and grab it. It presents itself.
Oh, true.
Oh.
Yeah, so.
he looks in and he's very confused, like, "What the fuck?"
And
Well,
then
if
you
you
like
look-
reach in all the way to your shoulder, and you pull out the bone mockingbird. And you're like,
I was gonna
oh,
say, if you're looking for it, then yeah, it's in there. All right, so Soot pulls that one out. Okay, we can sell that one next.
Mhm.
all
Like
right.
Bobby.
Oh, this is very, very nice craftsmanship. Let me see. And kind of inspects it a little longer. He pulls out this little eyeglass, stares at it for a bit. Well, 10 gold.
I actually like Soot does that, and he mimics Narcos's voice, where nice craftsmanship, and like gestures to the mockingbird, like, really?
I mean, it's a little trinket. I've got about 7 of those, and he pulls out and he picks up some of the stone and wood things, and there's a bunch of carvings of other birds and stuff like that. Maybe not necessarily of equal craftsmanship, but
What if I could get signed by original artist?
did one of you make this?
Yes, this one right here.
Helga's
How
patting
do like
Soot.
pat Soot on the back? Why don't you sign your art for the nice man?
So it just kind of like nods, like, yes.
Okay. Helga, roll a deception check.
Why not? Oh, brother.
Oh my god. You gotta say the number.
3.
Well, I'm afraid that marking up such a precisely made object as this would perhaps depreciate its value. 10 gold. Take it or leave it.
Helga looks at Soot. It is your art. Do you think we should sell it?
Soot gives him like a dirty eye. But then he pushes the mockingbird forward, like, fine.
Okay, we will take your price of 10 gold.
Scoops it up. Passes 10 gold across the desk. Anything else?
Gold. Helga takes out the gold bracelet next. It's pretty simple. It's gold made of gold.
Yes, let me see. And he inspects it, and what it is this the bracelet is a single gold it's a gold chain attached to on both ends to a little little placard, and on the placard is etched some little runes on it, very, very tiny runes. And he looks at it and kind of inspects it. He's like, I'm afraid I actually don't know what this says. It looks like perhaps a family heirloom, perhaps. Where did you get this?
So it says holy symbol.
Well, actually, it says blood type AB positive, and Max are like holy symbol. No, this is no. Notice I didn't use the accent. This is just Kit being obnoxious.
This is the.
It says, if I have a seizure, don't put anything in my mouth.
Diabetic.
If
and
lost,
type
return
AB
to.
positive. Do not resuscitate.
Do not resuscitate.
Resuscitate.
I think that's the thing. You can put on a bracelet. Anyways. Yeah.
So it says holy symbol Fana.
I'm sorry, I have not heard of a
Okay.
Fana. This is very nice, though. I would, I'd say, I'd give you about 15 gold, for this. It's just a simple trinket. It's nice, of course, but I'm not sure what... I don't even know if these markings mean anything. They're not of any...
It says, no. Holy symbol. And he, like, reaches out and touches it and puts a cantrip of light on it.
Oh my god, Kurt.
Okay, I'm gonna have you, roll a deception check, I guess.
Let's see how well this works. An 8?
So this plastered smile that's been on this man's face this whole time, this creepy, unnerving smile, dies immediately.
Oh, fuck.
And he kind of drops the bracelet as it lights up, and more kind of like almost throws it across the table at you. He said, "Powers that be, what are you doing? What are you playing at?
Fana's
my
holy
shop."
symbol.
And he blinks, rubs his eyes a bit. What is manner of ridiculousness?
Hold on. We got one more thing.
One more thing.
One more thing.
Interesting.
To take out the copper chalice.
Where did you get all of these things?
Going to sleep now.
Okay.
Good night.
Night. We'll try to keep it down.
Okay.
Night. Sorry, Libby was saying goodnight. Where did we get it?
So it just says Justine.
God, it's from my friend of a friend. We used to travel with a paladin.
Justine.
Yes, it is the symbol of the Justine.
Justine.
Mm-hmm.
So it just is, he really doesn't care about this chalice. He's still kind of butthurt over the bracelet. Like,
Helga and Soot both tried to be sneaky and tweet
Katrina actually kind of steps forward and puts a hand on your shoulders. Each of you in turn kind of has to reach up a little bit to touch Helga's shoulder. Actually, I think we're going to keep that. That is our friends. We should really give it back to them. Actually, I do believe they're waiting for us. Maybe we should go.
Okay, bye.
So looks confused, waiting?
Waiting.
Back in the bag. Okay, bye.
Do you take the bracelet with you? It's still there glowing on the floor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you
So,
dispel
like-
the glowing soot?
So it does the thing like in Avatar where like
The eye.
he does the eye thing at like Narcos, like bitch, watching you.
Water tribe out.
What a tribe.
What a try.
What a tribe. Okay. He's like,
All right, so
don't come back anytime soon.
200?
No, we made more than that.
200 something. We sold the
200
rock.
plus.
10.
We sold the Mockingbird for like 10. Yeah, 10.
Yeah.
So,
So
like
we
210.
made 210 gold.
Yep.
Helga shows it to Oran, like, look, we made the money.
So it makes like a sad bird noise holding the like shining bracelet, like.
Okay, you can wear it.
So it doesn't want to wear this shit.
Oh, just kidding.
Oren sees the money that you've counted out and he's like, wow, well done, very good, very good.
We gave them some rocks and they gave us some metal.
Good stuff. That's how it works. All right. Well, we've got a couple hours before sundown. We could maybe walk around a bit, see what other shops. There's some really interesting places around here.
Oh,
Ah,
wait. So tugs on Helga's robe and points to a shop that they had passed earlier, which, if I remember correctly, was the parchment place.
Parchment stuffin'.
Parchment.
I was really hoping you guys would go here.
Yeah.
So you kind of backtrack a bit and you find that shop and you walk in and it's musty and it's got that really heavy, comfortable smell that like an old library has. There's one whole wall. The shop itself is, as you enter kind of a like through a corner of a long rectangle, and there's like a little chair in the corner, like maybe 5 feet from you, and then 20 feet down, it's a very thin and long hallway basically that this shop is. The whole wall on the left is just covered in books, just big books, small books, old books, absolutely no new books, and towards the end, the last set of shelves is just lined with parchments of varying qualities and maybe a few bottles of inks. And then along the wall that has the windows on it that you saw, there's tables with supplies, more paper, more inks. Looks like there's maybe some old cartography tools just assembled, just there to maybe sell. And all the way at the end is this super hokey looking human dude with like this big curly afro and a thick beard, and he's just kind of chewing on something like there's a little pile of seeds on the table next to him, on the desk next to him. He's kind of slouched over and he's like, "Hey, welcome to Parchment Stuffin'. How can I help you to this fine Shine Scale Festival day?"
Helga just stands back because she's like not in her element here, even more so than the last place.
So it goes straight to the books.
Oh, little
He
birdie.
likes the books. This reminds him of home. This smells like home.
Oh.
This is what he remembers. And he wants to look at the books and see if there's anything he can recognize.
As you look at the books, go ahead and roll an investigation check. Yeah, little buddy, just go ahead and take a look. But let me know if you want anything taken down. There's a lot of delicate objects in here.
Plus rolled an 18.
Oh, okay. What are you looking for?
So would like to find a book pertaining to I guess mystical items and religion.
All right. As you're kind of going through them, they don't seem to be organized in any particular manner, just kind of shoved up there in every which way. So you kind of have to, you're digging for a bit, and you're just kind of looking at them, kind of like stretching up a little to see the top shelves. You can't even see like the top 3 shelves. You're like kind of stuck at these bottom 2.
And put like time on Helga to get a better look.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You
so
may look as later.
He tugs on her like up.
Yeah.
Helga just kind of like holds you across like the chest like a papoose.
Upsies!
And you're just kind of, your bird fluff just kind of scruffs up around your neck, so you're just a big floof.
Aww.
With eyes. It's really cute. And so you're looking through, and there's a couple of books that like have like weird names. Like there's one called Tusk Love. There's one called the Secrets of the Sea. And they seem to be rather short looking novellas, and you're just like, these don't seem like the kind of books that I would be allowed to read.
These are the books.
And you're kind of going, and there's this one kind of there's a thicker, shorter tome, kind of just there with this dark leather, and etched on the what looks almost like burned into the like carefully burned with a needle into the leather of the whatchamacallit, the spine. It's called I'm just gonna make this up really quick. It's called
Butts. It's called Butts and More Butts. And anus.
It's called Butts. No. It's called
Oh, beans. Writings
we
of
can
the
call it the dead gods of ancient religions.
Sexy.
Soot points to that and looks at the Afro guy like, this one.
All right, little dude. Actually, yeah, that book. Someone actually pawned that one off a couple of years ago. It's just kind of been chilling here. No one's really interested in it. Here, you can read a little bit of it, but you know, if you're gonna want to read the whole thing, you're gonna have to buy it because like it kind of defeats the purpose. You know what I mean? You can have a little sampler though. Here.
The entire thing.
I mean, like,
How much is it?
how much is it?
Well,
Yeah.
well, I price my books by like, you know, size and page count. This one's is a pretty thick one, so it's probably gonna run like maybe 2 silver or something.
So looks so excited. He pulls up the 2 silver. The 2 silver he owns and puts it on the counter. Oh,
All
wait.
right, little dude. Here you go. Go for it.
Thank you.
Careful, it's oh, okay. Little girl, sorry.
I am Soot.
Soot is soot.
I'm very confused.
Don't worry about it.
You
So
guys
kind
want to see any other books?
Soot kind of like looks at the parchment and considers, and
Do you need something?
Soot like does this gesture that's pretty much just writing.
Do you want to write?
He nods.
How much do you need for writing?
Soot doesn't know how to convey that, and
Just take what you take. Or is it? Can Soot reach the papers?
Soot can do numbers.
Soot doesn't necessarily need the parchment. He wants something to write with.
Oh.
So he kind of like,
you need a pen.
that's not quite right. He's like trying to figure out a good way to say what he needs.
Hey, little buddy, you look like you're about to blow. You want some seeds? They keep you calm.
So it kind of like gives him a look and like slowly shakes his head no.
You want something to write with.
All right, and he just like pops a handful in his mouth, keeps chewing.
Like something to write with. Where are the writing instruments?
We've got quills, got extra quills over here.
Quill.
Too fancy. So it's what, like, he kind of shrugs, like,
You
anything.
want, like chalk?
Yeah, something like chalk or charcoal or something simple that he could just put on the ground.
Yeah, I just got yeah, sure. Let me just
The omniscient voice is saying this.
I got some charcoal in this box here. You can just take a chunk. It's on the house. I just keep it for rubbings and stuff.
Thank you. So is so delighted by this Afro man and his weird seeds. What a nice fellow. Much more pleasant than Narcos. And he takes a handful of like charcoal.
Nice.
All right,
And
yeah,
he
you
likes a
now
little
have a
food.
chunk of charcoal.
He draws a little smiley face on the desk.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Charcoal. So it obtains a handful of charcoal.
Da-da-da-da.
Da-da-da-da.
Nice.
He's poor again though.
I was like, what did you write?
Smiley face.
Helga's looking at it. It's like, okay.
So it kind of like draws on it again and makes like little hair things that look like Helga's hair.
Oh.
And then it points at Helga.
Oh, it's neat.
Thumbs up.
That is how you write Helga.
Soot nods.
Or like stares at it and memorizes it.
Okay, Helga. Now, go ahead and roll an investigation, an intelligence check, Helga.
Oh boy. Intelligent. 12.
All right, you now know how to spell your name. You think?
I learned how
Achievement.
to write my name.
Soot is proud of himself. And
Fucking
he's
smiley
done-
face.
Smiley face with little Helga hair. Look, guys, this is how I sign my name.
Soot like pats her arm like, yes, it is.
Well, you guys want to look at the books a little bit more? It's been a bit of a slow day. Anything else I can do for you?
Soot looks at his like companions like, do you guys need anything?
I have no use for anything.
Soot's like pretty happy with his mystic book.
Alright, let us go then.
Da-da-da-da. Soot's done.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice what?
The
So-
door closed before he could finish speaking.
Sounded like you said have a nice dick. I'm like,
Have
thanks.
a nice dick.
Thanks, you too.
No, the ka-chick was the sound of the door closing.
Yeah,
My Foley isn't very good, guys.
that makes it sound like you're saying dick.
Have a nice dick.
That should be a formal, like,
This is how they say
Salutation.
goodbye in this
have
city.
a nice
That's
dick.
how they say goodbye in brothels.
Have a nice dick.
Have a nice dick.
Soot will remember him. He likes him. And
So
now he's
cool,
just
remember
really
this.
Nice. Is it like just doing the thing where he's like walking and reading at the same time?
yes.
Aww.
All right, I'll get to you, Tiff, with any information that you would have gleaned from that book.
Yes.
Just from you looking through it, though, it appears to be basically like a collective anthology of kind of older myths of like ancient Beconvel of the civilizations that kind of spanned the continent before the Great War age really started, kind of bringing things back to its roots.
Fancy.
Fancy.
It seems to talk a lot about how expansive the elven pantheon was, and how different kingdoms of elves had like their own pantheons that they would worship in different ways, and it was, it's more stories and less like technical stuff like this god, the god of this. It's more like just
It's
it's
not an encyclopedia, it's an anthology.
yeah,
It's just like fun urban legends.
pretty much. And I'll get to you a little bit more about that maybe later in the episode. Helga, is there anything that interests you or that you would want to look for? As you're walking, this weird smell hits you. It's very familiar in an awkwardly unpleasant way, and Katrina kind of mutters under her breath, "Dragon turtle."
Dragon turtle?
Why did I just think of that? What does that mean?
I don't know.
And then the smell hits you.
I thought crumpet.
You thought crumpet?
Yeah, you said an unpleasant familiar smell.
No, a different kind of unpleasant smell, like the mixtures of spices and beard hair.
Oh, is it from earlier when I got spice thrown in my face?
Nah, you can't figure it out.
Check that out.
You follow the scent?
follow the stink.
Sure, follow your nose. Helga just kind of starts wandering off in a direction. Trina's still muttering to herself, Dragon Turtle. Why the fuck was I thinking of Dragon Turtles?
Why are you thinking of dragon turtle?
I don't know!
What is a dragon turtle?
I don't know, you tell me! I don't know why I'm suddenly sounding like a Ren!
I don't know either.
Dragon turtle?
Probably because you have a different voice actor.
So you kind of wind through a couple more really thin streets, maybe only like 6 or 7 feet wide, with these 3-story buildings kind of hemming you in. It's very claustrophobic, but you eventually follow the smell to what looks to be a single cylindrical building, kind of just wedged in between a couple of others. It's only like a story tall, and has a weird pointed top that looks like a kind of like a hat, and a wooden sign that sticks straight out of the building over the road, a hanging sign. It's got like this fucking awful handwriting on it, and you can barely make out the words Alamanda's Oddities.
You mean Soot can barely make out.
Yeah.
You as in the group.
Yeah.
So it like wrinkles his face.
Oren
And then-
reads it out loud. Alamanda's Oddity. Oh, goodness. And he grabs his nose as the door kind of swings open a little bit. And and this awful smell of just every spice. Like imagine if you spilled an entire spice rack and then just shut the door for like 3 days.
Probably hasn't happened to me in real life.
It smells like that, but like with the mixtures of like dung and other things that probably should not be put on food.
Ugh.
No.
It's just this big cacophonous scent, and like the door kind of swings open a little bit and then closes again. Yeah.
So it shakes his head like, no, let's not do this.
Oh, come on. Where's your sense of adventure?
No sense of adventure.
What was that voice?
I don't know. I'm trying to mimic Oran, and I'm really bad at it.
That was Cat, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was supposed to be Cat, yeah.
Be Cat.
That was me
I
trying to
can
mimic
distinguish.
man. Cat.
Yeah, okay, sure. Let's go in. Let's go. Yes.
Yeah, so you enter
Already stinky.
You enter this tiny space, and the smell is just as pungent in here as you imagined. And there's garlics and other weird dried fruits and vegetables hanging from the ceiling in bunches. There's whole shelves of glass jars with various small creatures pickled in them. And behind the whatchamacallit,
Counter?
the counter, thank you, is an old woman, is an old dwarf woman, who she's just kooky looking, and her hair sticks out like she's been electrocuted, this frizzy silvery hair, and she just smiles in this like really crooked way, and she's like,
Hello, how are you today?
It was good until I smelled this place.
Well, that's just part of the business. You work with strange things, you get strange smells.
What is your business?
Well, I sell a great many oddities, tinctures, potions, brews. I work in alchemy with strange objects that I have collected for me, or I sometimes find myself when I'm out of town.
Oh, maybe you could tell me what is this? And Helga takes out the weird vial with the pink thing. Pink
thing?
red.
Ooh, that's very nice. Yes. Let me see.
and she like dips a little bit of on her finger and tasted it.
Ooh, Ooh, this is very potent. Very nice. This, in fact, and she hands it back to you, is good for 1 enlargement.
Oh.
Soot says in Helga's voice, Roger. Roger.
That's right. Helga name it Roger.
Roger.
Can you put that in the description, Mike? Can you name it Roger?
It's named Roger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think you should be able to edit that, actually, too.
Okay.
You should be able to edit the bag of holding.
There you go. Yeah.
Roger. But spell it like ye old Roger.
Ye oldie Roger.
Like Raj with like
Turns out, it's not actually supposed to be pronounced ye old. It's supposed to be pronounced the old.
Yeah, because the Y was actually the.
Who'd have thunk?
who the fuck?
Alright, so Roger. And it is a thing. That does a thing.
Mix large.
Make large. Oh.
Yes, if you drink this or pour this on an object in its entirety, you should in fact make it several times larger than it normally is.
And so like gestures to
does
himself.
How long should the effect last?
From the looks of it, and about an hour, maybe.
So he shakes his head, no.
Maybe sometime. Alright, sounds good.
So it holds up the vial of muddy well, is it in the bag of holding or did he still have it?
Oh yeah, the muddy one too. Well, might as well take that out. We know
So,
it's some
like-
kind of animal.
So like, yeah. He kind of like gestures to the bag with Helga like, hey, still valid.
The muddy liquid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she looks at it and she doesn't even have to taste it. She's like,
Oh yes, I make these actually quite regularly for a couple of farmer clients. These it just makes animals a little more friendly to you. I think it changes your scent. Maybe I'm not sure how it works. It's just that animals are more friendly to you.
So it says sell?
Oh, you want to sell it to me? I don't see why not. Sure. Let me just shit. Where's my Where is my Where's my box? Where's my box?
It's Smubblebee.
finding my box, and she's like moving stuff around, like just like. Oh, no, that's not it. Ping, ping, ping. Sorry, don't mind me. Don't mind me.
Don't mind me.
Let me see.
So should totally incorporate that into his vocabulary.
Oh, you know I am.
Just whatever. Don't mind me.
Don't mind me. Just everyone's becoming Brenda.
Yeah, we are all Brenda.
Let me see.
Oh, the voice following your dreams.
Yes. Tell you what, I'll buy it from you for tell you what, 15 gold.
So it looks at Helga like,
Sure, sounds good. I already am friends with animals.
yeah, he hands over the vial.
Alright, 15 more gold. Woo.
Yep, you get 15 more gold.
Woo!
Cool.
So it's made a sale. Thank you.
Alright. Helga goes over to Orenberg.
Do we have enough money to buy your boat?
How much do you have?
Let's see, we made 200. We made 225. Plus Helga has another 52 gold pieces and 407 silver. So that's another like about 92 gold. So 92 plus.
I'm not sure how much chartering a boat is gonna cost.
Maybe
Maybe we could try to. Jeez, this would take forever to get enough money. We'd probably be better off using this money to resupply. Maybe get some better armor, weapons. I'm not sure, but
He
you
says,
know,
"Well,
we could
but-
work as security for like maybe some merchants traveling out west, because there's got to be some merchants, maybe a caravan or something, or a boat. You know, chartering a boat's expensive, but working for someone and just happening to go out west is pretty cheap.
True, that's what I'm doing.
Out west.
I was like, oh, that's how I got here.
I
So
mean,
it's like-
east.
I thought we were
I know I
going-
said west, but I meant east.
yeah,
East.
yeah, we're going east.
Whatever.
You know what I meant.
In the direction we are going.
Well, yeah.
That's how Helga got here. So
Well, while we're here, we should try and see if we can find Artur's old shop. I'm not sure where it would be around here. Maybe we can ask around, yeah?
Arthur.
nah.
Yeah, let's do that. And so, Oran now starts leading the way, kind of stops a couple people. They don't seem to really... They seem to give him, like, really weird looks every time he mentions Artur. Like he's kind of... Like, they start, like, you know, most people are just like, oh, yeah, do you need help finding a place? And he's like, yeah, it's, kind of it was an old workshop, kind of tiny place, it was run by a lady named Artur, and then they kind of, like, straighten, give him a look like, is this guy fucking with me? And most of them will just kind of like turn around and leave after that. It's like, I don't know what's happening. I think I rolled really low on my investigation check.
So,
Oh my god.
I don't know. Sid like thinks and wants to go back to ask the parchment person. So he says, I keep forgetting what the parchment place is called. Parchment place.
Stuffins.
Parchment stuff. He did say parchment stuffing, so you theoretically could say that in his voice.
Parchment stuffing.
Parchment stuffing.
Parchment stuffing.
Yeah.
And he kind
Oh
of
my
like nods
God.
back the way they went.
You want to go check the parchment stuffing?
Arthur.
And ask Arthur. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Nah.
All right, and so you guys make your way into the parchment stuff. Oh, hey, what's up? Nice to see you guys again. You wanted to look for some more books?
So shakes his head no.
Oh, did you change your mind on the seeds? I got some extra seeds here, man. They're really good for you.
He shakes his head no again, like no.
Stay out of drugs, kids. Don't take seeds from strangers.
In Oran's voice, he says, Arthur? Wait, fuck, what is his accent?
It's like
Whatever.
really Scottish.
Arthur. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's not do this
That
tonight.
says Arthur.
So it's fine.
Arthur! There you go. I did it for you.
Thanks, yeah.
It's just trilling. Artur. Oh, do you mean Miss Grain? Yeah. And Oran kind of nudges his way to the front in this tiny shop. Yeah, we're looking for an old friend of ours, Artur Crane. She was a machinist. She worked with metals and kind of tinkered around a lot. And we haven't been able to find her shop around here at all. I don't know if she like maybe moved businesses or what happened. Oh, buddy, you haven't seen your friend in a while, have you? No. Grain? You mean like Grain Enterprises, like the shipping industry?
Ship!
What?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, like Miss Grain moved out of here like, oh geez, maybe like 10 years ago, and like business has been booming for her. She went and forgot about all of us, but she's rolling it with the high crowd. She's over in the Gold Bard.
Oh. Ooh. Gold, man.
Oh, so we should go check out that spot, yeah.
Sorry, I meant to say Shine Bard because I didn't have my notes open in front of me.
Good
Just
to
chill,
know.
bro.
It's like Beverly Hills, man. Whatever that is.
Beverly Hills, that's where I want to be.
Gimme, bro.
So look at Orion like,
All right, where's
ship.
Yeah, let's go there. Let's just go to there.
I don't think we should go there.
Ship.
And he like starts pushing everyone out of the building. Yeah, I don't think we should really go there. Maybe we should just visit our friend another time. You know, they probably don't even remember us. Shinebarth. Wow.
Six bars.
What did Soot say?
So it squawked.
Oh, squawk.
Squawk!
Squawk.
I agree.
Look, if Artura's gone all the way to the Shine Bar, then business worked really well for her, and she's probably not going to be bothered by us. She'll think we're looking for some sort of a handout, which we kind of are.
Shipping Bard. I don't know.
Well,
Sounds very exasperated. Like, this is your friend. Shipping Bard. Ship.
shoot.
They're like mixing words now.
Remix.
Soot remix.
Why not? Why not?
I just
I see social anxieties.
I have a lot of social anxiety.
Do you want me to go with you?
Gurg puts his big metal hand on Oran's shoulder.
He's like, hey, look, she probably would really like to see us. Tell you what, you three, go and enjoy the rest of the festival. The two of us are gonna go see if we can find Artur. Because if we show up with muscle, it'll probably look kind of weird.
So, like, flexes. Like, what? What muscle?
I meant Helga, little buddy.
Oh. Okay.
Anyway, yeah, go. Have fun. You're young, go do something stupid. You got a lot of money now.
So it says, "Blessed be you."
Sure.
And they both turn and walk off towards the northeast of the city.
Oh, dads.
Our dads are getting more distant, I feel.
Aw. I hope nothing bad happens to them.
Oh gosh, that would suck.
Jessica, what is the name like? Text. The Russian guy and his gun.
Tesla?
No,
Tolstov?
Tolstov and his gun.
Oh yeah, if there's a gun on the wall in the first act, then it must be fired by the third act.
Irrelevant later.
Oh my god.
That's part of my storytelling process.
All the same.
There's a lot of guns on a lot of walls. You guys haven't noticed yet.
Wait, what? There's lots of guns we haven't noticed.
There's so many guns.
Oh my god.
Yep.
I'm just an idiot in real life and in games, so
Amazing role playing.
thank you.
We are characters.
I figured that I should play somebody stupid to mask my own shortcomings in memories.
How's that working out for you?
I mean, I'm on a show, so it's pretty great.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, so they kind of walk off to, go and conquer Oran's social anxiety and meeting people that he hasn't connected with in a long time, and the rest of you are kind of left. It's I'd say it's about mid to late afternoon. The Eye of Justine, that big glowing orb in the sky, is starting to it's been slowly rotating around the city, and it's slowly heading back towards the north, in like this clockwise pattern, and it's slowly heading towards the keep where you remember the kind of the theater sponsor from the Paladins had mentioned that the religious ceremony would be taking place around there.
Oh yeah, let's go check that out, I guess.
So,
You like religious stuffs?
Fana.
Yes, Fana.
Fana.
Fana. Fana religious stuff.
Thana blessed be.
Yes, blessed be Thana. And
So
would
just
you- would
shrugs
you
like,
be
yeah, okay.
Do you want to go?
Not
I'd really like to go. I think it's very important that we talk to someone in charge about what's happening to the Premater.
Primitive?
The what now?
The orcs is
Oh.
what Katrina's talking about.
Oh.
So it like looks at Katrina like primitive?
Premater, the indigenous people, kind of green-skinned tusks. They look like Gurg, but with, arms.
Look like Gerdbug with arms.
So it just like gives her the blankest look like what?
You don't know what a Okay.
Shrug.
Yeah, so you don't actually have any fucking idea what a Premater looks like. You've never seen one before.
And he doesn't really have a stake in it. But he will follow Katrina because she
That's
seems
a good
kind of
idea.
invested in this. So like,
Never
yeah.
seen an orc.
Even if he doesn't like this not fan of religion, what's
Don't
going
worry,
on?
don't worry. You don't have to agree with it to be there, I think.
So it takes out his prayer wheel anyway.
Yes, that is good.
Comfort object.
This is my emotional support rattle.
Times of trouble, Fanta's blessing comes to me.
Okay.
Anyway.
Oh my god.
All right. Yes.
Speaking words of wisdom, let it be.
Blessed be.
Blessed,
Blessed be.
Blessed.
we just need like a doofy shirt with like a bird on it that just says "Blessed be."
Blessed be. God. Oh my god.
Why is that our iconic line of the show and not "There's fuckery about"?
Because
there's
won't
fuckery
shut
about
up.
happened before we started recording the show.
God, that fucking so many good one-liners.
Yeah.
My
No.
personal favorite was, "Oh."
What?
What?
It was when Oakfather had his like vision dream and Carly just was playing fucking memes in the background.
Oh.
And it was like, hello, I am a deity. And then it's just, and then, who?
Who? That's right.
Anyway, so you guys are just trudging towards the keep as you guys make your way through the stone streets of Dagdaral, surrounded by people who seem to be going in much the same direction as you, wearing gold and red. Many people holding some trinkets or cloths that have the symbol of Justine's hand upon them. We're going to end the episode there.
Eat.
So, thank you all so much for watching. The words, lots of words. Please remember to subscribe and check out our Patreon, where you can support the show and get super exclusive behind the scenes updates. Be sure to follow our Twitter at Dicey Decisions, headed by Kit and Tiff. And remember, if you tweet with the hashtag Dicey Decisions, you get entered into a drawing to help me open our next episode, because I'm not very original and it's hard for me to come up with things.
Yeah.
You can find the podcast of this show anywhere podcasts are available. Have a good one. Be safe. Share some love. And tell a
gay.
story. And
be
be gay. Bye, y'all.
Good night.
Bye.